How's it going, everyone? This is Trixx from Meta Smash, and today I'm doing a little bit of a different video compared to what we normally do on this channel, and it might even seem a little bit unorthodox, but for anybody out there, it maybe you played with a Pro Controller for a really long time like I have. I played with a Pro Controller for all of Smash Wii U and for the beginning portion of Smash Ultimate, and I don't like having notches on my controller. So I wanted to try and figure out a way to remove the notches without destroying my controller, and I figured this out. I figured I'd give it a shot, and I'm going to walk you through what I ended up doing and if it was successful or not. So first things first, as you just saw, I took off the back of the controller. You have to have what is called a tri-wing screwdriver. You can find these at some hardware stores. I had a little bit of trouble trying to find one, but I was able to. It's like $5. I think you could also get them on Amazon. I'm sure you can. That's really all you're going to need. Besides that, just a very, very fine piece of sandpaper to actually sand down the edge of the notches. But first thing I did is, just like I said, take off the back. I had a nice clean surface so I don't lose the screws, keep them all separated from each other. I wasn't sure if they were all different lengths or anything like that when I was doing this, so I just tried to keep them separate so I could put them back right where they came in. So yeah, I have the piece off, looking at the front right now. You can see the notches. And I went to another hardware store and I got this sandpaper. I think it's called 320 grade. The higher the number is, the more fine the sandpaper is, for anybody that doesn't know. So get something that's at least 220 to 300, and just rip yourself off a little piece just like this. You definitely don't need the whole piece. Unfortunately, that's how it comes, but whatever. Just take a small piece, put it in a circle. You're going to wrap it around your finger and start sanding the edges off. And you're going to want to do this in a spinning motion, not in and out or up and down, whatever you want to call it, because you don't want to have a weird oblong egg shape by accidentally doing the same spot for too long or too rough. So you're going to want to go in a circle very evenly, and this is going to take some time. And since this was my first time, it took me about 20 minutes to sand it down properly, make sure it was as smooth as possible. I probably could have done it quicker, but I was afraid of sanding it too much, and of course there's a point of no return where you may actually damage your controller beyond where it's actually usable anymore. But as you can see, I got a pretty clean circle. All the notches are gone. I just want to hold it to the camera so you can see right in there. I wasn't sure if you could see it or not, but once I have it as good as I think I can get it without getting too crazy or too overboard, I just cleaned it off with some compressed air. You definitely don't need to have compressed air to clean this off. I just wanted to because, compressed air is kind of sick, so why not? But you could definitely just use a damp cloth, or you can even run the entire thing under some water, let it dry if you really wanted to, if you're worried about getting dust in your controller. But either way, clean it off and then put everything back together. Also, a side note, if you've never ever taken your controller apart before, I highly recommend recording yourself doing it anyways, just in case you don't remember where something goes or you don't know how these little pegs go together. I actually point to them just to make sure that, as a reminder for myself, just in case this is where it came from. If I have to watch this video back if I didn't know what to do, that has to be hooked around this little notch right there, and then that goes straight through the top of the controller, which is the cable. And you can reattach everything just like so. It actually came apart pretty easily. Of course, I highly suggest getting the tri-wing screwdriver. Don't try and use a butter knife or a Phillips head screwdriver or something like that, because you are going to strip the screws. And then if you do in fact strip these screws, there's literally no going back. You're going to have to try and find some replacement screws, which are not going to be the right thing, and they might be too long and actually damage your circuit board if they go all the way through your controller or anything like that, or at least to the circuit board. So yeah, I cleaned it off. I noticed right away, and you can even hear, just listen, the difference between having notches and no notches. So I spun the C-stick just to give you a comparison, and this is just a close-up of a before and after. You can see that it's clearly, I did a pretty good job, I won't lie, and it feels pretty good. And that's pretty much going to be it. Once again, this is a tutorial for anybody who has been very used to a Pro Controller, and maybe you use a character that teleports for the recovery and you just don't like having notches. You want to have the ability to get a 360-degree recovery with your character, and maybe this is the fix that you were looking for. I'm sure in the comments I'm going to get a lot of people saying, why on earth would you do this to a perfectly good GameCube controller? But if you're someone like me who has been playing with a Pro controller for 5 years, getting used to notches is extremely difficult, and I would much rather just continue on playing as close to the same way as I already was. Lastly, I just wanted to show you, I rotate the control stick around just to show you that I did not sand it too far and you can't see the edge of the control stick throughout the side. There's no like hole or space in between the control stick itself going down into the controller. So this is fully safe. You don't have to really worry about anything falling into your controller, especially if you don't go overboard with the sanding. So once again, if this is a fix that you're looking for, hopefully this was able to help you. And one last thing to note is I am actually a competitive player, and I did take this controller to bracket since I've made this video, and it worked perfectly. It worked exactly the way I was hoping it would. So if you have any second thoughts and if you think this is something that you should do, I would say you really have no fear. Just, of course, be careful when you're sanding it, and yeah, just have fun playing the game. Realistically, that's all it really is. Just play it the way that you feel the most comfortable, and if this is how you gotta do it, then this is what you gotta do. And once again, this is Trixx from Smash saying thanks for watching the video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos.